ASMR Who. And this video is my review for Winter for the Adept, the 10th release in the Big Finish main range. It's a 5th Doctor story, starring Peter Davison, of course, and you've got Sarah Sutton returning as Nyssa, and this is written by Andrew Cartmel, who was the script editor in the late 80s for Sylvester McCoy's time as the Doctor. So it's very interesting to see his name on the credits for this. But this was good fun. It was quite interesting, actually. Somewhat fortuitous that I've been doing these reviews every week and took a week off when it was the 60th because there was lots of other stuff going on that week. So I took a week off and then came back to the big Finish stuff the following week. And that's kind of worked out in a funny way because this story is set on the 22nd of December, which is today. It is the day this video is going out. It's set in 1963, not 2023, but the day is the same. So it was very interesting to hear that, and it was nice to get a story that felt very seasonal, and it's not a Christmas story, but there's mentions of Christmas, and it's the basic premise for this is it's in an all girls school in, I want to say, the Swiss Alps. It's not the Swiss Alps, but it's this remote all girls school that's been snowed in, basically, right at the tail end of December, and most of the students have left, but there's a couple who haven't. You've got a couple of the teachers, and you've also got this ranger policeman guy. One thing I felt that this story did well, and I think all of the stories so far, is that they don't have massive supporting casts. So you've got enough different characters for there to be a sense of variety in terms of the characters and the storylines, but it's not like 20 different characters you're trying to follow. But this was really fun. I enjoyed this. I think it's definitely my favourite of the 5th Doctor stories so far. I think Nyssa was stronger in this story than in the previous story, previous main range story she was in, which was The Land of the Dead. I thought she was a little bit underused, certainly in that previous story, and I think I mentioned that in my review, but she was a lot more engaging in this one, especially because for the first part, for the majority of the first part, the Doctor is not present. We are introduced to the characters, and then Nyssa is introduced to them. She is there by herself on her own, and meets up with the other characters and is introduced to them, and then the Doctor shows up towards the end of part 1, and so she just gets a lot more to do. She's a lot more, I think the side characters were more engaging in this than that previous story as well, which helps with Nyssa as a character. I did find it was weird. I assume this is something Andrew Cartmel was doing, was that he was like, well, Nyssa's an alien, so sometimes it'd be very basic, like a common turn of phrase that Nyssa wouldn't understand what it meant, or they'd talk about something, they'd mention like an object or something, and Nyssa wouldn't know what it was, and I found that a bit odd. Not distractingly, so it wasn't awful, is the same gripe I had with the previous story, The Spectre of Lanyon Moor, which was that I was really enjoying the story. It went in some really interesting, different kind of directions and ways, but in part 4, the monster is revealed, and it just has a generic monster voice, which I felt was disappointing, because the story had been really, I don't want to say subversive, but it was not. It was very different. It's sort of a ghost story, but the ghost is not what you expect. It's not what you would. It's not the norm. How you would normally expect that kind of story to go. But there are these monsters, and they show up at the end, and they've just got. It's a generic monster voice, and then I don't think they're defeated very easily. So it's very, very similar sort of gripe I have with this as I did with the last story. I thought very much the same thing about Spectre of Lanyon Moor, so it was disappointing to hear that happen. 2 stories in a row, basically. But aside from that, I thought that this story was very strong. As I say, definitely my favourite of the 5th Doctor stories. I'd probably put it about on par or just below Spectre of Lanyon Moor. But those are my thoughts on Winter for the Adept. I don't have too much else to say without going into loads of detail, but even then, this was good, but it was a shame to have the same issue as the previous story. But I liked it. I would recommend it. It's not one of my definite recommends, but give it a whirl. I think I had a good time with this, and it was fun to listen to it at this time of year, and it felt very atmospheric and creepy, and I could definitely see this story on TV. So yeah, it was really good until the ending, which kind of ever so slightly let it down. But so those are my thoughts. I wanted to talk a little bit briefly as well about these videos and what I'm going to do moving forwards. And basically I think I'm going to stop making the Big Finish reviews weekly. This will be the last one for this year. I don't know if we've got another Friday in the year. Yeah, we will do, but you won't get another video, another Big Finish review for this year. I think I'm still going to continue listening to the main range at the same sort of pace. I think I'm going to do like collective videos, so I think the next 5 releases I'll do in one big video and talk about all 5, I think. And I think what I might do is do individual little reviews as shorts. It's something that I was looking at doing some shorts videos, and I'm not sure what to start with. So I think I might do some very brief Big Finish review videos as shorts for individual stories, and then sort of group bunches of stories together collectively. So like the next 5 stories, and then after that is the first run of 8th Doctor stories, so I'll group them together. also been listening to other Big Finish. I've been listening to the 10th Doctor Adventures, the first volume of that, so I'll probably do a review for that. I'm still going to listen to Big Finish. I'm still getting into it. I'm still going to make videos about it, but I don't think I'm going to do them every week, because sometimes it feels like, well, I know I've got that video to do every week, but then I don't get around to doing other videos during the week, and so I don't want to just be this isn't just a Big Finish channel, you know what I mean? So that's probably what I'm going to do going forward with the Big Finish stuff, and then do other videos as well, focus on other different types of videos and stuff. But yes, those are my thoughts on Winter for the Adept and the first 10 Big Finish main range releases. I'm having a great time with the main range so far. So yes, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment if you like this story.